I want to show you something. These beads, look at them in the tube. They're beautiful, right? There's distinct colours and you can see exactly what you're getting. Now watch what happens when I pour them out. They still look beautiful. Great colours, purples, pinks, blues. But what happens when I bead them? My little sample here becomes really muddy. Muddy every time. And I cannot tell you how many pieces I've made where I thought the colours were working right up until they weren't. And that's one of the most common colour problems in beading. And it comes down to two things that almost nobody talks about. And I'm going to show you both and the fix for each right now. So the first problem is value similarity. The first culprit is value. Value is the lightness or darkness of a colour, not the hue, not the saturation, just how light or dark it reads. And in a tube, beads catch light at different angles. A medium purple and a medium green, they're completely different colours. But if they're the same value, the same lightness value, they'll read as almost identical when you bead them side by side. The hue difference disappears and what you're left with is a flat, muddy surface. In my experience, this is the most common cause of muddy beading and it's almost always invisible until you see it. Because your brain tells you the colours are different, and they are different, but different isn't enough. They need to be different in value, not just in hue. But the fix is really simple. It's the squint test. So you want to squint at your palette almost until your eyes are closed. And you want to be able to see when you squint, you want your eye to stop reading the hue and start reading the value. If everything blurs into one like that, there is not enough contrast and I might need to add something lighter or darker to create that contrast. The second muddy colour culprit is temperature. Warm colours like reds, oranges, yellows and cool colours, blues, greens and purples don't naturally sit together without a mediator. Put them directly next to each other and they fight. The eye reads the conflict as visual noise, muddy. When warm and cool colours have no adjacent, no neutral colour bridge, the colours fight. Beautiful colours can compete because the eye can't settle. The fix isn't to remove the warm or cool colours, it's to give them that bridge, a neutral that sits between them and gives each colour room to exist without fighting the one next to it. And that's what I've found works consistently. And once you start doing it, you'll see it in everything. So here is a solution. We have the same colours, warm and cool, throughout these earrings, but there's this beautiful black neutral which is the bridge throughout them. They're the same colours on each of these earrings, but because the warm and cool are not fighting with one another, the bridge of the black neutral reduces the muddiness of these pieces. But a bridge neutral doesn't have to be all black. It can be white. White with all of these colours as well is another great neutral bridge that stops warm and cool colours from fighting with each other. Different colours isn't enough. Different values is. Your eye reads value before it reads hue. Two colours, like the purple and green that I showed, can be completely different and still read as the same if they share the same lightness level. The squint test doesn't lie. If your palette blurs into one tone when you squint, you have a value problem, not a colour problem. Add something lighter or darker and watch that muddiness disappear. Number 2. Warm and cool colours need a bridge, not a barrier. Removing one temperature family from your palette isn't the answer. Beading that's all warm or all cool can feel flat. The answer is the bridge neutral, a colour that sits between temperatures and gives each one room to breathe. Black, grey, white, it doesn't need to be the dominant colour. It just needs to exist, and this is the principle as I applied in every piece I make with a mixed temperature palette. And number 3, the tube lies. Always test your beads side by side before you commit. There are exceptions. Some colour combinations will surprise you in the best possible way. But in my experience, the most reliable habit you can build is to lay your beads out side by side before you start stitching. What looks right in the tube and what reads in the finished piece is completely different and different things. And the design eye always tests first, always. So before your next project, lay your beads out. Squint at them. If everything blurs into one value, find something lighter or darker. And if you're mixing warm and cool, ask yourself, where's the bridge? 2 questions. That's the design eye working. And if you want to go deeper with colour, the 3 colour rule video is linked in the description. And if you want the full design eye method, the membership is where that lives. Both links are below. So next up in the design eye series, the last bead you add changes everything. That one is coming soon. I'll see you there. Thanks to our design eye members, you are the ones that make all of this possible.